I'm gonna tell you a story. First thing you gotta understand, though, is that doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle, because I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the cult, so to speak. Alright, so, a couple things. One, depending on the order that you see this in, you could have seen this before, but you probably haven't seen this before. So I've referenced that I'm a Buddhist monk. This is my actual proof of that. This is the sash I wear when I actually do my prayer meditation, which I do very rarely because, like, it's kind of a special occasion thing. Like, it's not something that I, like, when it was given to me, I was told that it could actually kill someone, but if I did use it, it would, one, definitely work, which is another reason that you're never going to hear me say the mantra, because, like, I don't want anyone using it, like, throwing it around. Two, like, if I did do that, not only would it work, I would lose it forever. Like, a long time. So, that's the deal with that. When I was told, when I was given my initiation, when I was, like, told about the white sash, given my mantra, all that, like, my first initiation was basically, like, me chanting that mantra with, like, the other two initiates. Again, not going to tell you about, like, anything about what they were told. I'm only going to tell you what I was told. I was told, basically, if I can remember this verbatim from the old Cambodian, basically the dude who initiated me, I'm not even joking. He looked like if Jackie, oh man, Chow Yun Fat. If Chow Yun Fat from Bulletproof Monk, was actually Cambodian. Like, I understand this dude was actually part of the Cambodian royal family, like, and he was so old, he was like shot back in Vietnam days, like, or no, I think he was stabbed or something like that. I don't remember specifically, but, like, honestly, he was like, oh no, he was stabbed. He was definitely stabbed though. But, like, he basically told me, that's where welcome for likes you very much. Like, we'll protect you, we'll fight for you, but you need to not fight. I'm like, okay. I feel like I can handle that. So, that's the deal with that. I was initiated with two other people. They were both women. So if anyone was questioning, like, is this something that only men do? Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. Again, anyone who, I only went through, there were 3 grades of initiation. I only went through 1. But, like, I feel like I've done alright for myself with my meditation because, like, for one thing, I feel like I've been very specific to, like, not be wasteful with it, specifically with my intent. Like, especially with, like, not sharing my mantra. It's a very basic thing about initiation. If you're initiated in anything, like, there are basic, like, things about a lot of things, and, like, I don't think anyone specifically told me not to share the mantra, but I feel like it's something that if I shared, like, the entire ritual with, like, the entire, like, setup of my altar, the entire mantra, like, all of that, I feel like it would be, like teaching people to do this, which is, considering how like, powerful it's supposed to be, like, and, like, that's part of the reason I don't do it very often. But anyway, then there's this. So check out how cool this is. So this is, I did another video about an abracadabra candle. Now, I also made this, an effigy of the corpse of that for after it's done burning. Because there's actually a specific effigy that I was like, I looked up what effigy was in Sanskrit. There's like 6 meanings, including, like, one for, like, an auspicious night that's made out of flour. One that's, like, made out of flour to represent a sacrificial animal. One that is so you can do, like, you can have an animal sacrifice, and it's not an animal sacrifice. You can have, like, a vegan animal sacrifice. I'm not even joking, too. I'm not even joking. You can have an actual vegan and you can, like, consecrate it and be like, no, like, it's not actually that, but, like, if you do it the right way, honestly, as far as the gods are concerned, they're like, yeah, you understand what you're doing. That's cool. At least in my opinion. So check out this. So, my brother got married a while back. I'm not gonna say much about him other than that, but for his own good, so his wife didn't be like, so and so, what is this? I basically confiscated a lot of his pre-marriage voodoo supplies that he left at like where we used to live together, which include a lot of like come to me love potion stuff. Which like, if your wife found this, like even if it was dusty and stuff, she'd be like, mm-hmm. So who is this for? Because this is from before we met. With with very very understandable judgment, but like so I'm a Buddhist monk. I'm fundamentally opposed to violence. I feel like this sort of thing is uh if you have it or you come across it or you get it, like don't be wasteful with it. So this is something that I've like never opened, for that was from this stash, but this is Dove's Blood ink. Put it in this. So this is an abracadabra candle with English and Hebrew that has, as my first one was, 3 drops of my blood on it. And also, I put in Dove's blood in both tracks. That is, in my opinion, considering the supplies that I, like, basically didn't have to pay for, like, I basically confiscated it for the right reasons, and it included that because, like, whatever, that was all together. It was all together. So, like, there was also some stuff with, like, good judgment, like, oil for if you're, like, in a lawsuit. I'm like, if he's in a lawsuit, I'll be like, do you want this, like, specific, like, powder back from your hoodoo set that, like, I've already told him, like, I took all of your love spell stuff because it was at the old house and you're married now. So, like, I don't really intend to use it, but, like, you're married. You don't get to have it. If you see this video, you don't get to have that stuff back. Stay happily married. If you screw up in a way that is actually not your fault, like you work too many hours and she gets pissed at you, I will give it to you. That's it. I'm not joking. Moving on. So, want to see something cool? This is one thing that can definitely qualify with me telling you a story. This is me basically telling you Genesis. In the beginning, there was beginning. Beginning, origin, Ugda, Mula, the first of the Arya, not even Kala. And, we'll get to this in a sec. And then we have, not even first anymore, but all the way on Tima Yama. We get, like, all the way to the end. We have all, or the Sarva Yama. We have Sarva Ugda, Sarva Mula, every beginning, every root, every origin, we have every ending, and then we get to have, oh, what's this? What's this? In between those two, we get every possible time and timeline, because that's in theory how that actually should work. I'm not even joking. So then, if this all of physical reality is one actual story, this is supposed to be fate. This is actually how the story is supposed to go, in theory. In theory. Yeah, in grand sweeping theory in epic design. If the story is like the story is basically like a part of this. So here is mind. This is me, you. All of the perspectives in the story, all the choices we make and the way. Hey, boom, boom, because that's how we make. So something that's really cool. I like have this thing that's in my specifically in my my 3 books that are about hell, because I wrote 3 books that are like a trilogy about hell essentially, and they're like horror comedy or whatever, but they have this concept that there's like essentially like 4 godheads that are like the logos, the mythos, the prima lumos. Oh, actually, going from like astral to causal to dream down to physical, you have like um the Logos, the Prima Lumos, who's basically like the morning star, like Lucifer or whatever. And you have like the Mythos, which is basically sort of like an embodiment of like the divine feminine in the dream, who like the fates would basically be 3 direct female aspects of. And then we have like the Demiurgos down in physicality, which like is effectively, in my opinion, what's in the Ark of the Covenant is the Demiurgos trying to take a nap, basically. Because for like especially something like the Demiurgos to get some sleep, like seriously, no joke at all. So, thing of the Demiurgos, once we have mind, then things get really interesting. We have matter. That's where we start to happen. Because once we have matter, we can have forces. We have the say on the last one. We got like Samoha before, the illusion of the mind. We have Kaza, or space, which basically separates all of the matter. So the matter is basically like the books that the story is written on. The things that eventually become our body. So this thing is deeply actually tied back to death, because like death is basically not just like death of like living stuff, but it's like actually stuff breaking. That's what like all of the Yama is about. It's not just about Murta or dying. So we have once we have all of that, once we have all that stuff that can basically define three-dimensional physical reality, we can have spirit. Now, if like you're big into Christianity, this is like actually literally where the Holy Spirit is from. If like you're into Kabbalah, it's like where Ruach basically chills. That's basically like if you're into DC Comics, that's basically like the shadow part of that is where the Chayatman, or the shadow soul, is. So that's the Svapna, or like I will often refer to that actually as the Svapna, because that's the dream. That's basically in Kabbalah terms, that is prima foundation. That's the foundation of reality, essentially, of like the consciousness of mind interacting with boom, life. That's all of us down here on the ground. What basically all of that in theory kind of sort of actually exists to support, in theory. In theory. Like in magical theory, so to speak. And that's how to create the universe in 10 easy steps according to Genesis. And let's see, do I have anything else cool to tell you? Let's see. Oh yeah, I actually there's one notable name that I actually forgot to mention in my list of women I love, and like I'm probably gonna be like, oh man, you actually saw this? So like, are you mad at me, or is this a good thing? um, yeah, I actually understand you're married, so I don't think this will actually make any difference to you at all. But Misadventure Island China, if you take second husbands, please take me, please. Anyway, all right. Anything else? Oh, you know what? I'll talk about this real quick, and then I'll go. So something that's interesting things about Buddhist monks, at least in my case, they often have as part of their temple setup, like specific deities that they venerate. I, as my choices, went with Naratmya, Kurkule, and Havashra. All of them are just like, in my opinion, awesome. Naratmya is the goddess of the anatta, or the no soul, and karma, essentially. And Kurokule is literally actually the goddess of magic in the Hindu pantheon. So basically, that's how that is. So I'm gonna give you what the 8 strings of consciousness are, and then I'm gonna like go to bed because I have to go to work in the morning. It's like, oh, happy post Halloween. I basically started uploading most of these yesterday. I got another like 10 I'm gonna put in like probably later tomorrow when I come back from work. And then I'm gonna um then I'm probably going to what am I gonna do? Oh, put this in when I put in the third batch on I put them in the first one on the first one, All Saints Day. Oh wait a minute, still no, not yesterday. Yesterday was All Saints Day, so happy post Halloween, and now it's the second, so a little bit of perspective of how like I say, time doesn't work the way you think it does. Yeah, I was actually planning on doing these like sequentially and just spacing them out, but I was like, I have been deciding to do that. I'm probably gonna have to end up going back and rewatching all these and pulling a couple and making sure that they're not having any swears in them or any people's name. I'm trying specifically not to mention. I'm trying not to be like blowing any people up. But here are the 8 strings of consciousness. Consciousness. Katsa Vijnana. Ear consciousness, Srotsha Vijnana. Nose consciousness, Grana Vijnana. Tongue consciousness, Jivava Jnana. Body consciousness, Kaya Vijnana. Now, all of these come together to make basically your mind. So basically, your mind or your samoha is an illusion. Like, it's one made by your brain. That's literally just how your brain works. That is how your mestiska, or your brain, and your kendriya siddha samadhi, or your central nervous system, actually just works. It makes your samoha happen. The samoha is the illusion of the mind. Oh, check it out. So there's like, this is a color changing wax candle, and a bunch of the red melted with a bunch of the blood in the previous candles. That's awesome. I'm just saying. All right, so they come together in the Manovinyana. This is your mental consciousness. This is also like essentially your awareness of yourself, like your self awareness. Like, to an extent, when you watch this and I say that you're an illusion, your mental consciousness is what processes that. It's like, okay, I can buy that, or this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm done. One of those two is probably going to be your reaction. Um, Diluted awareness. Manas. Klista manas, klista vijnana. Alright, so like disturbing emotion or attitude, klesa. So basically, this is like essentially when like if someone is mentally disturbed, if someone is actually has like a chemical imbalance, there's something wrong with their body disturbing their samoha and makes it difficult for them to process samsara like the rest of us can. Because essentially, if your samoha is working properly, you'll see the same samsara that the rest of us see. That's basically how living in samsara works. I can't really, but basically, your seventh string is basically you being able to determine what's real and not. Like what is actually your samoha, what is, you know, other people's samoha, and what is like essentially if you have schizophrenia. It's essentially your body having a permanent break possible, or not permanent, but like severe interference of your body with your seventh string, as near as I can tell. So that's basically how that works, I guess. And then there's eighth string consciousness, storehouse or repository consciousness. So that's essentially your connection to the Akashic field because everyone has one. And that's essentially why the seventh string is what it is, because like the Akashic field's always right. Like you can't argue with the Akashic field. That doesn't work. There are some things you can do with magic that are just borderline miraculous or that are straight miracles. Like there's actually words for like make miracle. Like there's actually words for make a miracle in Sanskrit. I'm not even joking. Caused by miracle. I'm not even joking. Probably just from the Gitas. From like and then Shiva caused by miracle this. I'm not even joking. It's probably just that. But like seriously. I don't know where I was going with this. Um but anyway, like if you were really ambitious and you decided like I'm gonna use like if I decided to be like off the walls ambitious, like I'm gonna start using my prayer magic, I'm gonna decide to try to cause by miracle and I'm gonna see what kind of groovy stuff I can do. Like seems a little bit ambitious, and I'm probably not gonna do that, but like still. Like this would be the kind of stuff that like if I was feeling really ballsy, that's what I would do. For example. I'm just saying. But like some things, you know, maybe like figuring out a way to fly. That would be cool. That would be awesomely cool. Thing about it is, it would have to be like something where like I would actually kind of probably literally need people to believe in me being able to do that. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. The power of faith is astonishing. If enough people was like, you know what, and then we could figure out that dude could. That would be cool. I could probably like, all right, I make this stuff so that I have like a limited anti-gravity field around me. As long as enough people believe that I know, like, I know the words for it and I know how to do it, and I can get enough people to believe me, maybe it'll work. Meh, it'd be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna say that's actually going to happen, but it would be pretty cool. And let's see. Okay. Um, I think. Oh yeah, but like some stuff you just can't do. You just can't do. Some stuff you just can't do. Like piss off the gods and expect to get away with it. That seems like something that only an idiot would even try. like, 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 imagine if there was some idiot that actually was like so terrible that they actually like sent other people to hell while they were still alive to try to figure out a way to stay away from hell. Like, imagine if someone was actually that terrible. What kind of awful stuff would someone like that, who would honestly, if they did that, have to have pissed off all the gods and all the demons, everyone, everywhere, just by doing that? What could possibly happen to them that could be worse than whatever the gods have in mind? Because, like, seriously, like, I'm pretty firm believer in the gods. Maybe it's like strange to me that I believe in all of them. I believe in the Christian God just as much as I believe in like Hormuz the Queden and Zervan from like deep back Persia, like, but because like a god's a god. Heck, a false god is a false god if they're being honest about it. But all right, I think I'm done. Oh, you know what? I think I'll go out with a little tune. So I told about the first 10 and the way the days. I talked about the origin, Dharma way. Dharma Ugda Omkara. And now we'll move down to I reckon yeah. If we be of the same origins, we both needed parents. Facts deep. I reckon me and I reckon you. Perhaps some need a chord we reach with two. Ooh, ooh. Dharma, Dharma, 1, 2, 3. A Dharma Satya Maui. So, truth is the ultimate weapon. The gravest wave sonics, rowdy's nice radio, edge away, deep way, and honesty. Dharma to keep or keep the truth weave. 'Cause if it's a weapon, forthwith, you gotta have honest sheath for it. And then we move to hospitality, and that's the way you act, true we. And then we move to hostility, when only war is the choices for we. And then we move on to as in doubt, and when we reach vindication, and then we move on as our first or water as sword and cup we differ in marque. Then we move on, and as it were, defense of yourself and your home and all yours, and as it were, if we had to, defense of the earth of the world we be true. And then we reach final confrontation, 'cause everything that has Ugda has to happen, because after which we have kinship, blood and water, how it begins. And that means all we be, calibration and the keys of mystery. Hey, and that be all from Oracle me. Dream safely, oh everybody. Budari and Ozio. These are the main it's A-E-I-O-U-I, and sometimes why, 'cause the ladies they be. Good night and dream safely, everybody.